My boyfriend's buddy? David Miller and I dated for 3 years, but on our engagement night, he was with his close female friend. That manipulative buddy was wearing my designer dress. Her eyes shrewd. Eleanor, she said, David and I are strictly platonic. We've been like this since we were kids. You wouldn't misunderstand, would you? David agreed from beside her. If there was anything real between us, you wouldn't even be in the picture. Later, kissing photos of me and the city's golden boy went viral online. David Miller pounded on my door at my place, demanding an explanation. The city's golden boy, Jackson Thorne, pinned me against the door, not letting me see him. I answered with difficulty, just go, stop guessing. This is real between us, David. Doesn't this dress look better on me? If you like it, it's yours. Eleanor has plenty. Hearing that male voice, my hand froze on the doorknob. That voice was all too familiar. It was the boyfriend I'd been with for 3 years, and the female voice was his close female friend, Chloe Jenkins. Just as I stood stunned, David Miller opened the door. When he saw me, the smile on his face froze instantly. Chloe Jenkins, standing behind him, was wearing my designer dress, her eyes cunning. She looped an arm around David Miller's neck. Eleanor, she said, I just got a hotel room because David Miller drank too much last night. That's all. We've been like this since we were kids. You wouldn't misunderstand, would you? So she stole the designer dress off her back from my place? I laughed sardonically, ripping off her facade without mercy. The way you say that makes it sound like you're hoping I will misunderstand. My boyfriend disappeared all night after our engagement party. I searched for him all night without sleep, only to find out he went and got a hotel room with another girl. Who could possibly keep their temper? Chloe Jenkins was flustered and awkward. David Miller stepped in front of her, looking at me with displeasure. Eleanor, Chloe Jenkins just spoke a little hastily. She didn't mean anything by it. Stop picking on her. Besides, if there was anything real between us, you wouldn't even be here. Always the same. For the 3 years David Miller and I were together, Chloe Jenkins was always by his side, like a shadow. She was the third person in every picture, the friend David Miller openly flirted with. We had argued about her countless times. It was only recently that Chloe Jenkins had seemed to disappear from our lives. I thought David Miller had cleared the air with her. I thought David Miller was finally planning to make it work with me, which is why I agreed to have the engagement party. But I didn't expect him to still be up to his old tricks. I smiled, pulling off the engagement ring from my ring finger. David, we're over. David Miller's eyes widened in disbelief. Eleanor, what are you saying? As the ring clattered to the floor, I said without looking back. I said I want nothing to do with you anymore. Looking at you makes me sicken. David Miller was speechless for a moment. Then Chloe Jenkins' sugary sweet voice chirped, wow, someone's got cash. Wow, check out that rock. Can I see it? Just thinking about wasting 3 years on someone like that made me feel physically sickened with anger. I went to a hotel, got a private room, and ordered up 8 handsome guys. My best friend, Maya Thorne, sent me a photo. I opened it to see David Miller riding a Ferris wheel with Chloe Jenkins. Chloe Jenkins had her hand draped over David Miller's shoulder, and the diamond ring on her ring finger was blindingly bright. I felt a sharp pang in my heart. My best friend furiously cursed David Miller out for me. He just has a pretty face, that's all. What else does he have on you? You're a PhD from a top university, gorgeous, rich, and in great shape. There are plenty of handsome young guys out there. Why settle for one tree when you can have plenty of fish in the sea? Don't be sad, Eleanor. He's not worth breaking your heart over. I poured bottle after bottle of wine down my throat. Not for any other reason than the more I thought about it, the more I realized Maya Thorne was right. And I, the hopelessly romantic fool, had wasted 3 years. I didn't want to. If he wasn't so handsome, if I didn't go soft looking at that face, I wouldn't have been blinded by love. Fueled by the alcohol, my consciousness grew blurry. I didn't even notice someone had come up to me. If you prioritize looks, maybe you could look at me. Dazed, I saw an excessively handsome face, like a sculpture meticulously carved by Michelangelo. Every feature stunningly perfect. My heart hammered in my chest. David Miller and everything else were completely forgotten. All I could see were those thin, pink lips. The man chuckled softly, his charming laugh sending heat to my ears. He leaned closer to my ear. You just like looking? Don't you want a taste? Waking up early, I felt like my entire body was about to fall apart. I was even more startled when I saw who was beside me, Jackson Thorne, my best friend's brother. the city's golden boy. He was so innocent online people called him the innocent young master of the elite. If his family found out I'd gotten their only son, they'd kill me. My heart tightened, just as I was about to grab my phone and slip away quietly. I felt an arm tighten around my waist. A warm heat pressed against my back. I could feel his 8-pack abs through his shirt. A swallow echoed in the air. I wasn't sure if it was mine or his. Suddenly, cold drops of water gathered on my shoulder. I glanced over to see 2 clear tear tracks on Jackson Thorne's fair face. His pathetic, tearful look. Eleanor, are you not going to take responsibility? It's okay, I understand. After all, it was just a one-night stand. I frantically wiped away his tears. It was strange. I was the one who should have felt wronged. But I felt like my heart was taking a million hits. It's okay, Eleanor. I understand. If you think it was just a one-night stand, then it was. I won't pester you. After all, it was my first time. Jackson Thorne turned and pulled me close. We were face to face. His large, tear-filled eyes made my heart pound. I wiped at my nose, where I half expected a nosebleed. I'll take responsibility. Hearing this, Jackson Thorne immediately pulled out his ID card. Oh, great. Let's go register. Huh? Seeing my confused expression, Jackson Thorne started sobbing again. I feel so bad for you, Eleanor, being abandoned by David Miller. But I'm also so jealous of him, still living in your heart. I quickly shook my head. I haven't liked him for a long time. The next second, there was a huge diamond ring on my hand, more than twice the size of the engagement ring David Miller gave me. Okay, let's get married for. I looked at the marriage certificate in front of me, feeling surreal. Just then, my phone blew up. The moment I answered, I heard Chloe Jenkins' sugary sweet voice giggling. Come on, David Miller, keep drinking. I'm not like those delicate girls. I can hold my liquor. I was about to hang up when David Miller's voice came through. Where are you? Why haven't you come home? I am home. I'm comfortable in my huge room at my place. David Miller probably thought of his 8-square-meter bedroom and assumed I was implying something. His voice turned red with anger. Eleanor Vance, why are you being so dramatic? I told you Chloe Jenkins and I have a strictly platonic relationship. She hasn't even made a fuss about you targeting her. Why are you being so petty? I'm telling you one last time. If you don't come home now, don't ever come back. I was so angry I laughed, pouting my cheek. I spoke passive-aggressively. Even if you failed English class, you should still be able to understand plain English, right? I told you we broke up, you psycho. After saying that, I hung up directly. Jackson Thorne wrapped his arms around me again. Why does he keep making you angry, Eleanor? Unlike him, all I want to do is make you happy. Jackson Thorne's expression, looking obedient and sweet like a docile partner, really unleashed my dominant side. I couldn't help myself and pulled him into a kiss. Another day lost in a blur. Next, Jackson Thorne took me to meet his family. The expected scene of me luring away the innocent young master and getting thrashed didn't happen. My best friend's eyes scanned us back and forth, full of gossip. Mrs. Thorne took us to a luxurious restaurant outside. Not only did she immediately take my hand and give me the family heirloom bracelet, she smiled at me the whole time. This was a stark contrast to my first visit to David Miller's place, where Mrs. Miller insisted I help out in the kitchen and laid down 8 strict family rules for me. I ate the peeled shrimp and various dishes Jackson Thorne served me, feeling so full I had to rush to the restroom. What I didn't expect was to run into David Miller just around the corner. We were both too stunned to speak, dressed so beautifully. You came all the way to my workplace just to wait for me? Fine, I guess I could forgive you. David Miller stepped forward intimately, trying to put an arm around my shoulder, but I easily evaded him. I've seen shameless people, but never someone this brazen. I hope you understand, Mr. Miller. We've broken up. Don't be delusional, okay? Having been publicly embarrassed by me, David Miller's face instantly turned pale. What are you still mad about? Okay, I was wrong, but you're really overthinking this. Let's go home and talk. Do you know how worried I've been about you not coming home for so many days? I lowered my head, meticulously admiring my freshly done manicure, completely unfazed. Oh, and that concerns me how. I rolled my eyes helplessly. The more I thought about it, the more I felt I must have been blind back then. Now, looking at him, even his face seemed sleazy. Eleanor Vance. David Miller raised his hand, reaching for me, when a figure suddenly appeared in front of me. The cup of water he was holding was completely splashed onto his face by David Miller. Water droplets clung to his already fair complexion, making him look as radiant as a lotus emerging from water, sending my heart racing. I suddenly understood why the online comments about him were so wild. Eleanor, she splashed me. Jackson Thorne tightened his hold around my waist, but his eyes, fixed on David Miller, were exceptionally challenging. I didn't use force, he splashed himself. Jackson Thorne blinked his innocent eyes, and my face flushed. Enough. How could someone so pure possibly be wrong? David Miller, are you done yet? Pestering me is one thing, but framing Jackson Thorne? Don't you know a decent ex knows when to disappear? Damn it. I didn't splash him. This total phony, I scoffed. So guys can tell who's manipulative? Then why couldn't he tell about his best friend? Honestly, it takes two to tango. They were just stringing people along. David Miller kicked the ground angrily, finally noticing Jackson Thorne and me embracing. What are you doing? Eleanor Vance, you cheated on me. I can't believe you're just like Chloe Jenkins said, a promiscuous woman. The moment he finished speaking, Jackson Thorne punched him, sending him sprawling. Jackson Thorne grabbed his hair, his eyes blazing with ferocity. Watch your language. Since you have no manners, I'll teach you what it means to respect women. Seeing Jackson Thorne beating him without regard for the consequences, I rushed to stop him only when I saw David Miller was almost unconscious. I told you we broke up. Please stop interfering in my and my boyfriend's lives, boyfriend. Seeing Jackson Thorne's dangerous gaze, I quickly corrected myself. My husband, God, we got married so fast, I forgot we'd already signed the papers. Afterward, Jackson Thorne clung to me, calling me honey all day until his voice went hoarse. I thought David Miller wouldn't bother us again after what happened today, but I underestimated his level of shamelessness. Photos of David Miller, battered and bruised, went viral online. Chloe Jenkins posted a handsome picture of him from before, along with a caption. Eleanor Vance teamed up with her homewrecker to thrash the original partner. Can the rich just bully regular people? The contrast between the two sets of photos, combined with the emotionally charged caption, caused the internet to explode. Eleanor Vance is way too arrogant. Poor handsome guy. No way. How could she lay a hand on such a handsome face? Ruining a beauty. The comments below were either sympathizing with David Miller or calling me ungrateful. Jackson Thorne narrowed his eyes. Although he was smiling, his entire being radiated a chilling darkness. He immediately posted kissing photos of us and our marriage certificate on his social media, with the caption, "My ex was harassing my wife. Why couldn't I beat him up? Honestly, I went too easy on him this time. Sorry everyone, I'll try harder next time." Our kissing photos went viral online. Before long, the innocent socialite air of the elite social circle was trending #1. And the comments on Chloe Jenkins' side were completely overrun. A decent ex knows when to disappear. What is this? Blaming the victim and slandering the original partner. That's the city's golden boy you're talking about. Who do you think you are? I know this Chloe Jenkins. She's a total manipulative buddy. Back in school, she loved acting like one of the guys with all the boys, but she was actually stringing them along. On the surface, she pretends to support women, but she's really just pandering to men. The city's golden boy and the daughter of the top family, a perfect match. Seeing the discussion about us constantly increasing online, I quickly contacted my company to push the launch of our new products. As expected, they sold out instantly upon release. Hype equals money. My eyes lit up. I immediately started a late-night live stream to sell the new products. Jackson Thorne, whose romantic time had been squeezed out, was not happy. He leaned in and whined playfully. I knew it, Eleanor. Now you don't have any room for me in your eyes. In an instant, the comment section exploded, and the number of viewers surged. My eyes shone even brighter. Money, money. It's all money. I must have done something right in my life. I can finally enjoy the happiness of drowning in money. Just as I was reveling in this happiness, my phone rang again. Eleanor, the stuff online isn't true, is it? I was wrong. I was just saying things in anger. Can we make up? I was about to reply, but Jackson Thorne covered my mouth. I just want a place in your heart, Eleanor. I thought y'all blocked him by now. Things had been so busy I'd forgotten about that. Under Jackson Thorne's watchful eye, I quickly blocked him. Jackson Thorne looked at my lips with an intense gaze. Just then, there was a violent pounding on the door, followed by David Miller's voice. Eleanor, are you home? Please open the door. I'm so sorry, please, just see me. I'll die without you. Being bothered by David Miller repeatedly, my temper flared instantly. I was about to open the door and kick him out, but Jackson Thorne held my hands. His kisses trailed along my back, his hot breath making me tremble. He pinned me against the door. David Miller was still pounding outside. I answered with difficulty through the door. Stop guessing. This is real between us. Get lost. The knocking outside gradually stopped. Jackson Thorne was still not satisfied, so he posted a series of our sweet photos on his social media account, with the caption, "Sorry if that makes someone jealous. Wait, no, I'm not. I totally meant to." I couldn't help but laugh out loud and continued scrolling through his Weibo. Suddenly my eyes stopped on a photo of a back view from 3 years ago. His caption was, "Wishing you well. Hope you're happy every day." That photo of the back view looked exactly like me during my student days. Calculating the date, that was right when I first got together with David Miller. I kept scrolling down and found records of Jackson Thorne's 10 years of unspoken secret feelings for me. His love was like a cool breeze on a hot day, always doing what was best for me, yet somehow making sure I never noticed. Every note left in my locker, every little treat tucked into my textbook after I was upset, every quiet company on rainy days. My youth was filled with his quiet presence. In that instant, my eyes welled up and felt a sting. Jackson Thorne was startled by my appearance and flustered, fumbling to wipe away my tears. Don't cry, did I hurt you? It's all my fault for not having any restraint, Jackson Thorne. Why were you playing this secret crush game with that face of yours? If Yao just come to me 3 years ago, I would have run off with you then. Jackson Thorne's eyes instantly filled with self-reproach and heartache. Yeah, it was my fault for being a coward. I thought someone as wonderful as you shouldn't be bothered by my feelings. If I had been a little braver then, you wouldn't have wasted 3 years with him. I hugged Jackson Thorne tightly. It's okay. We still have a long future ahead of us. I thought Jackson Thorne and I would be happy together from then on, but I didn't expect someone to show up the next day to cause trouble. It was Chloe Jenkins. She was wearing and carrying things I'd left at David Miller's place. While I didn't care about throwing those things in the trash, seeing them on her still made me disgusted. Chloe Jenkins threw a thick envelope at me. I only glanced at it and was so angry I saw red. It said I was to sign over half of my property and assets at my place to David Miller. Sign this, and you and David Miller can be completely done with each other. Don't be ungrateful. We're leaving you at least half. I only believe in monogamy, and I won't allow David Miller to have a mistress. My fists clenched. I was really curious what kind of upbringing could produce such a lunatic. Seeing that I wasn't signing, Chloe Jenkins laughed disdainfully. Stop being delusional about him. I'm Mrs. Miller's future daughter-in-law. My offer is the lowest you'll get, and that's not even counting the cyberbullying you put me through. I grabbed her hair and dragged her head on the floor. Chloe Jenkins was screaming as I threw her out the door. I really didn't want to lower myself to the level of someone so brazen and shameless. Chloe Jenkins glared at me viciously, like a wolf ready to tear me apart. You'll regret it if you don't agree now. She was truly the most pure lunatic on earth. I rolled my eyes and said without any politeness, "Well then, Ms. Jenkins, be sure to visit again. I'll definitely call for a padded cell ahead of time." After Chloe Jenkins' circus, my mood was completely ruined. Jackson Thorne, ever thoughtful, took me on a trip abroad. Perhaps the 3 months of travel were too easy, causing me to automatically ignore the implication of Chloe Jenkins' words, until David Miller, who had been quiet for 3 months, suddenly appeared at the wedding. I was about to have security escort him out, but it was as if H anticipated my words. Just an ex dropping by for a final meeting. You wouldn't begrudge me that, would you? David Miller spoke with distant but politeness, and since it was full of friends and family, I couldn't very well refuse. I could only reluctantly agree, but I felt a strange panic inside when the stylist handed me the necklace. I even accidentally dropped it on the floor. My heart was pounding fast. Just then, I heard a sound behind me. I thought it was the stylist returning, but as I turned, someone covered my mouth and nose. A strange scent drifted into my nostrils. I felt dizzy and the world spun, my vision blurring. When I woke up again, I was in a strange room. In front of me were David Miller and his mother. Quick, she's awake. Let's get this done. A girl's reputation is everything. If we make it irreversible, she won't be able to get away. His mother closed the door herself. Before leaving, she looked at me, a flash of malice in her eyes. David Miller walked up to me and began kissing my fingers. I felt a chill of disgust, but my mouth was covered, and I couldn't make a sound. "Eleanor, will you marry me? If you don't agree, I'll die." David Miller's eyes were frighteningly insane, considering that angering him now might get me killed. I immediately nodded, trying to calm him down. Then say you love me, say you'll leave Jackson Thorne. Seeing me nod, David Miller's mouth curled into a smirk. I love you, I'll leave Jackson Thorne. I forced myself to say the words, fighting back the disgust, but David Miller didn't untie me. His smirk only grew wider. My heart sank. The next second, David Miller took out my phone and spoke to the person on the other end. Did you hear that? Get lost, you homewrecker. There was no answer from the other end. David Miller hung up without waiting any longer. I was frantic. I needed to get to Jackson Thorne right away. David Miller saw right through me. He grabbed my chin viciously. Don't even think about it. You ran out on your wedding during a family gathering. No man would tolerate that kind of humiliation. Just stay here with me. Hurry up and have your dad transfer me back to my workplace and get his future son-in-law a promotion and a raise. I've been living on instant noodles every day these past few days. It's been miserable. I knew David Miller didn't love me. He just loved the benefits I brought him. This disgusting kept man. After the call was cut off, Jackson Thorne called several times, but the other side never answered. The Thorne family elders, faces flushed, were tugging at Jackson Thorne's sleeve, wanting to drag him to confront the Vance family. The pulling and tugging finally calmed the panic in Jackson Thorne's eyes. He quickly went onto the stage and snatched the microphone from the host. Everyone, please stay and have something to eat. I'm going to get the bride. Chloe Jenkins took the opportunity to latch onto him. Such a devoted man. Too bad Eleanor Vance is a fickle slut. Jackson Thorne smiled. He had security escort Chloe Jenkins out, even taking her phone. Chloe Jenkins was furious. I was trying to help you, and this is how you treat me? Do you think I won't sue you for theft? While checking the GPS link to Eleanor Vance's phone, Jackson Thorne replied, Ms. Jenkins, insulting my wife right in front of me, in my own house. Aren't you showing too much disrespect for the Thorne family? Jackson Thorne waved, signaling the security guards to take her away. Chloe Jenkins cried out frantically, Hey, they're really getting married, aren't you? The heir, afraid of becoming a laughingstock. I believe her. And he was confident he was better than David Miller. The blue Porsche sped down the highway. But unfortunately, there was road construction today. Jackson Thorne got stuck in traffic, with 5 kilometers still to go to the destination. Jackson Thorne got out of the car without a second thought. The crimson sunset cast a glow on his running figure, unaware of all this. I was trying to dodge the kiss David Miller was leaning in for. This angered him, and he started trying to rip my dress. Eleanor, he said, I love you so much. Why are you still hiding from me? David Miller's grip left bruises on my arm. My pain seemed to excite him. Yet he kept claiming he loved me. I felt a ceramic bowl. I secretly hid it up my sleeve. With my other hand, I quietly stroked David Miller's face. David? David Miller thought I was responding to his kiss, and he lunged at me with his mouth open, disgusted. I reacted instantly. I hit David Miller in the back of the head until he bled. His dazed howl of pain reached my ears. Seizing the moment, I kicked him in the groin. David Miller screamed in agony as he doubled over. I kicked him in the backside. David Miller lost his balance and fell. You psycho. You make the me who loved you before feel disgusted. But my escape attempt was off to a bad start. The moment I opened the door, I saw David Miller's mother smoking in a corner not far away. Beside her were 2 hulking guys. We stared at each other, both stunned. But thankfully my brain kicked in, and I immediately ran for the stairs upstairs. This was an abandoned building. David Miller had tied me up on the 3rd floor, meaning the lower I went, the greater my chance of reaching the ground floor. But I only made it to the rooftop before the pursuing David Miller cornered me. He advanced on me step by step, looking as if he was sure to get me. Like I was an easy target he could push around. I backed up step by step until I reached the edge of the roof. There was nowhere left to go. But I wouldn't give up. I climbed onto the parapet, facing David Miller, with the tall building behind me. Stay back. David Miller was terrified that his meal ticket, would fall. He stepped back several paces. I glanced at the distance between this building and the next just an arm's length away and jumped across without hesitation, right in front of David Miller. Although I landed safely on the other side, my skin was scraped raw, blood was streaming, and my wedding dress was torn and battered. Seeing David Miller was still coming after me, I quickly ran down the stairs. The dim stairwell, the footsteps behind me, the pain in my body, every single thing made me terrified. You can't get away. These 2 buildings belong to the company I started that failed. David Miller was only 20 yards away behind me. No wonder Dad refused to give him a good position when I got engaged to him. His lack of ability is a permanent fact. My words seemed to hit a nerve with David Miller. He quickened his pace as he lunged at me. I quickly flung open a door and ducked inside. I slammed it shut immediately, and I heard the sound of his body hitting the metal door outside. David Miller cursed under his breath a few times. After finding the door locked, he seemed to be fumbling with keys. I heard the jingling of keys from outside. I took the opportunity to tear off a section of my dress, using it as a makeshift rope to lower myself down step by step. By the time David Miller got to the window and found me, I had already climbed down to the second floor. He held onto my makeshift rope and smirked at me. "Eleanor, naughty girl." My heart dropped. Falling from the second floor wouldn't kill me, but it'd be crippled. If I ended up crippled, I would definitely sue David Miller for everything he had. That's what I was thinking just before I hit the ground. But the expected impact never came. Instead, I was embraced in arms that smelled faintly of something clean and fresh. The person held me tight, as if terrified I would be hurt even a little. "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was late. It was my fault. You must have been terrified, right?" Jackson Thorne stroked my head, trembling and tears streaming down his face. At that moment, I cried like a child who had suffered a terrible wrong. I hadn't meant to cry, but my heart just felt heavy and aching. Well, look who it is. The city's golden boy. Too bad you're late. Eleanor is already my woman. Surely the socialite heir wouldn't want to take in damaged goods. David Miller laughed scornfully. I saw Jackson Thorne's face instantly turn cold and hard. He choked out, "She's not. Girls are sensitive. Look at her clothes. The state she's in. This is proof of our fun together." My clothes were torn, and I was covered in bruises and scrapes. I really did look like I'd been assaulted. My heart sank. I was terrified Jackson Thorne would misunderstand, but he just held me tighter. "So you did this to her?" "Yes." David Miller's eyes were full of utter contempt. "I see." Jackson Thorne suddenly smiled. Before I could react, he pressed his jacket around me, then threw a punch at David Miller. At first, they traded blows. But then Jackson Thorne was clearly winning. Jackson Thorne's punches landed hard, and David Miller was battered and bruised in no time. Kidnapping, extortion, assault. "I'll bring in a top legal expert. I'll make sure his whole family rots in jail." That was the last thing David Miller heard before the ambulance took him away. With everything settled, I wanted to hold Jackson Thorne's hand and go home together. Instead, Jackson Thorne turned around and dropped to his knees in front of me. His face kept rubbing against my left hand, his large, tear-filled eyes watery. There was no trace of the fierce intensity shown when beating David Miller. "I did 3 things wrong," I've reflected, "and I admit my mistakes. Please, boss, don't leave me." I stared at him, taken aback. "What 3 things?" Jackson Thorne answered very seriously. "I shouldn't have let you hear that trash's disgusting words. I shouldn't have failed to protect you. And I shouldn't have been so late and let you be terrified. But please, entrust the rest of your life to me. There won't be a next time." Jackson Thorne took out the ring we had chosen together. In the glow of the setting sun, the young man's eyes were bright and clear, making me blush. "Okay, I understand." I held out my hand and let him put it on. "The rest of our lives is long, but we will walk hand in hand, side by side,